Hello everyone, my name is Courtney Ballou and today's video is about Hollywood Studios rides and attractions. So again, I am going to list these by height requirement, starting with any height. So the first thing is Walt Disney Presents, which is any height. You may remain in wheelchairs. Audio description, reflective captioning, handheld captioning, and assistive listening are available. And this is a Walt Disney Museum in a 15-minute video. So you walk through the museum on your own, and then you can choose if you want to watch the video or not. I don't know if we've ever watched the video, but we have walked through many times, and it's a good museum of like everything to do with Walt Disney and Disney World, and I think Disneyland is in there too. And it's a lot of like models of the different rides and stuff, and it's really cool to see. So that's a fun one to walk through. The next thing is Lightning McQueen's Racing Academy. This is any height and you may remain in wheelchairs. So this is a, I guess, like stage show. You're indoors, you sit on like bleacher seats, and on the stage is like Lightning McQueen, like the full car of Lightning McQueen. And I believe they have Mater on the side, but all the rest of the characters are just voices or they're on a screen. So there's a screen in front of you. If you've watched Cars 3, Lightning McQueen goes to that training facility and he has to do the virtual training, and he hates it because it's not normal training like he's used to. That's what this whole show is about, is him trying to teach you how to use the virtual training, and some things go wrong and his friends have to help him through it. So it's a fun show for anyone that loves Cars characters. The next one is Vacation Fun. This is also any height. You may remain in wheelchairs. It's a short film about Mickey and Minnie's vacation memories. So if you've watched the Mickey shorts, a lot of them are about different places that Mickey and Minnie have traveled. So this is kind of, I think Mickey is like looking for his camera or something and keeps remembering different things that he did on vacations with Minnie. So it's a cute film that they kind of put a whole bunch of different shorts together in. And the theater seats in this one look like Mickey's shorts. The next one is Muppet Vision 3D. This one is also any height. You may remain in wheelchairs. Audio description, video captioning, assistive listening, and language translation are available. This one is 3D, so you do have the 3D glasses. It also has in-theater special effects. This, for some reason, is one of our favorite attractions, and we do it almost every time we go to Hollywood Studios. But it's just like exploring the Muppet studio, and then in the theater, like one of the balcony seats has like the old guys. You actually get to physically see them. I think it has like bubbles and stuff that come down during the film, and it's a really cool, fun little video of the Muppets. So the next one is our first ride. This is Toy Story Mania in Toy Story Land. We're a very competitive family, so this is like one of our favorite rides. It's any height. Service animals are permitted with caution. Audio description and video captioning is available, and you do have 3D glasses in this one. So there's 5 games, and your cart kind of spins and slides to get to each game. So pretty much you start with like a practice round, and you have like, I guess I would call it a cannon. It's this little thing that shoots like air at the screen, and you have like a string with a ball on the end that you pull to shoot. So you have to like aim your cannon at the different games and shoot. So there's like breaking plates, and I think there's like a ring toss game. So there's 5 games in total, and your cart like spins and slides to get from the game to the next one. So Mom has gotten sick on this one before, but not very often. So it depends on what seat she's in the cart. But this one's super fun. We love this ride. The next one is the newest ride, Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. This is also any height. You must transfer from a wheelchair. Audio description and handheld captioning is available. This is trackless, so it does kind of slide all over the floor. It kind of spins a little bit. So there's different rooms that you go through, and Mom was all right with them. I wasn't sure how she would do with her motion sickness, but she said when you got to the water scene, there's a scene where you like fall over a waterfall, she had to close her eyes for it because she was getting sick. So if you have motion sickness, the water scene, close your eyes. Otherwise, this is a super fun attraction, and the song will get stuck in your head for the rest of the day. Our next ride is Alien Swirling Saucer. This one is a 32-inch height requirement. You must transfer from wheelchairs, service animals are not permitted, and it is a spinning ride. So if you're from Disneyland, the Mater ride with the tractors is kind of the same concept as Alien Swirling Saucer. So you're pretty much in like this wagon behind the ride, and it kind of like moves side to side, which I'd be fine with. But there's also a bunch of circles on the ground, and as you go around the circles and connect with another circle, your ride vehicle goes off on that circle, so it's a lot of spinning with the back and forth motion, so that's why I don't like this ride. But if you're okay with spinning and you like Toy Story, I'm sure you'll enjoy it. So the next one is Slinky Dog Dash. This one is 38-inch height requirement. Service animals are not permitted, and it is a roller coaster. So it does go kind of fast, it goes around corners, it has hills. It's more of like a kid's ride, but I don't know how they call it a kid's ride because it is pretty fast. So Mom doesn't like this one, I enjoy it. If you like Slinky Dog, you'll probably enjoy it. The next one is Millennium Falcon Smuggler Run. This one has a 38-inch height requirement. You must transfer from a wheelchair. Service animals are not permitted. Audio description, handheld captioning, and assistive listening are available. And it's a simulation ride. So this one and the next ride, I have issues with motion sickness on. So my mom always taught me when you're on simulation rides, if you're in like a cart, you look for something that's stationary and you don't feel like you're moving anymore. So I've used this multiple times on simulation rides. The only issue with Millennium Falcon is you're in an enclosed area, so there's nothing stationary to look at. So I did get a little sick on this one. So you are given 3 different jobs that you can do. So you can be a pilot, you can be a gunner, or you can be a mechanic. So the pilots are the ones that have the most to do. So they fly your spaceship, and one side goes up and down and the other side goes left and right. So they're constantly moving the whole time. The gunners and the mechanics have kind of the same job. There's buttons that light up next to you and you have to push them. So it's not as fun as a ride for the mechanics and the gunners, but it's still a fun ride. So if you like Star Wars, I suggest that ride. The next one is Star Tours, that has a 40-inch height requirement. Service animals are not permitted. Video captioning and handheld captioning are available. This is also a flight simulator that has a lot of motion. This one, instead of having 6 people in your little spaceship, they have like benches that you sit on, so there's a ton of people in there with you. And again, it's enclosed, so when you move, you really feel like you're moving and you get motion sickness. So if you're okay with motion and you like Star Wars, this might be a fun ride for you. The next one is the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror. This one has a 40-inch height requirement. Service animals are not permitted. Video captioning is available and translation devices are available. The description says there's sudden fast drops in a dark enclosed space. So the first time we went on this, I was like 4 or 5. My uncle got us to go on it. Wouldn't tell us anything about the ride. I was terrified through the entire ride. Got done with the ride. Each time we go back to Disney, I say I'm gonna ride it again. And every time something happens in the queue that freaks me out, and I never ride it. So someday I will get back on this ride, but for now I do not enjoy this one. It is more of a thrill ride. The next one is Star Wars Rise of the Resistance. This one has a 40-inch height requirement. You must transfer from a wheelchair. And this one is a trackless system like Mickey and Minnie's. It does have motion, and the big thing is there is a drop. So I did end up going on this the last time we were at Hollywood Studios, and my uncle went with me, and we were riding through the ride, and all of a sudden we got in this thing that was an elevator, and it went up, and I was like panicky for the rest of the ride. I kept like grabbing the bar in front of me. My uncle kept looking at me like, "What are you doing?" And I finally looked at him and said, "What goes up must come down." So at some point there is a drop in it, but it's not as bad as I thought it would be, and I kind of panicked more than I needed to. But just so you know, there is a drop. It's still a super fun ride if you like Star Wars, or if you like a little more of a thrill ride. I really enjoyed this one. Our last ride is Rock and Roller Coaster starring Aerosmith. This one has a height requirement of 48 inches. Service animals are not permitted. This one has the seating and restraints that different sizes and shapes might not fit in. I will never ride this ride. I can do kid roller coasters. I can do roller coasters that go backwards sometimes. I cannot do flips on a roller coaster. So this one has 2 rollover loops and a corkscrew. It's also rock and roll themed, so it's rock and roll music blasted through the whole ride, so it's very loud and it's very fast. If you like thrill rides, go right ahead and ride it. I will never ride this. So these are all of the rides at Hollywood Studios. If you have a favorite ride, let me know down below. I believe I have a top 3 at Hollywood Studios, which would be Star Wars Rise of the Resistance, Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, and Toy Story Mania. If there's something that you're really excited for, let me know down below. I will also mention that Star Wars Rise of the Resistance has the boarding group that you need. So I did try for the boarding pass in the morning before we went to Hollywood Studios, and I didn't get one. And then park hopping starts at 2 o'clock right now. And at 2 o'clock is also the Rise of the Resistance, like, second group that you can get for the boarding passes. So I think a lot of people go, and if they don't get it in the morning, they end up park hopping and not caring about it. So I did end up getting a pass at 2 o'clock. So I think the 2 o'clock is a little bit easier to get, just for a tip if you're trying to get your boarding pass. So I think that's it for Hollywood Studios. I believe the next video is going to be Epcot rides, so I hope to see you there. Thanks for watching.